we reveal the real value of old coins and their history on the ultimate channel for collectors, Numis Nerd.
1984 Washington Quarter is one of those coins that slips through people's hands every day without a second thought. Billions were struck, and most assume they're all just pocket change. But the truth is, the Denver issue from 1984 hides some of the most dramatic price swings in modern quarters. Ordinary coins worth 25 cents in circulation, but in the highest grades or with rare errors, these have shocked the auction world with results stretching into six figures, and in some extraordinary cases, well past $500,000. Let's start with the basics. The obverse shows John Flanagan's portrait of George Washington, used since 1932, with liberty above and in God we trust to the left. The date 1984 appears at the bottom. The reverse features the heraldic eagle clutching arrows with olive branches beneath. These coins were struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark on the obverse, to the right of Washington's ponytail. The 1984 D was struck in copper nickel clad, weighing 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The mintage was enormous. Over 546 million quarters rolled out of Denver that year. And yet, here's the twist. Because they were made for circulation, almost none survived in pristine gem condition. Quality control was weak, bag marks were common, and nearly all were quickly spent and worn down. That's why true mint state gems are shockingly scarce. In circulated condition, a 1984 D is worth face value. But mint state coins tell a different story. An MS-65 might bring $30, an MS-66 sells for around $120. At MS-67, the rarity really kicks in. One sold for $1,920, and another brought $3,100. A superb PCGS MS-67 Plus, hammered for $6,000. And the top pop survivors, with blazing luster and flawless surfaces, shocked collectors when they sold for over $14,400 at auction. Then come the errors, the real moneymakers. An off-center 1984 D quarter sold for $150. A double-struck piece went for $2,050. A broad strike realized $1,950. A wrong planche error, struck on a copper cent blank, sold for $12,000. Another, struck on a foreign planche, brought $4,600. A transitional silver-clad strike stunned the market at $210,000. And the headline sale, a 1984 D Washington quarter struck on a $50 planche, fully certified, shocked the hobby when it sold for $612,000 at heritage auctions, life-changing money for what started as pocket change. The historical context adds to its mystique. In 1984, America was still 2 decades away from the 50-state quarters program. The Washington design with the eagle reverse had already been around for over 50 years, and most people saw it as boring, everyday change. That's exactly why so few people saved rolls or high-grade examples. Nobody thought the 1984 D quarter would ever be rare. But today, top-quality survivors prove otherwise. So where can you find one? Your best bet is searching rolls of quarters from the bank, or digging through estate collections and old change. Jars from the 1980s. Look for strong luster and clean fields. Those are the keys to gem-grade coins. Weigh any coin that feels off. A normal 1984 D quarter should weigh 5.67 grams. Anything heavier could be a silver error, and anything lighter might be a wrong planche strike worth thousands. If you think you've found something special, certification is essential. A raw coin in mint state might fetch $50, but in a PCGS or NGC holder-graded MS-67 or better, it can leap into the thousands. For errors, grading is what unlocks the real money. Without a certification, most buyers won't risk bidding high. But with that label, prices can climb to 6 figures. Selling depends on what you have. Circulated finds and small errors sell easily on eBay. Higher-grade mint-state coins move well through great collections. But the big pieces, the $14,400 MS-67 Plus, the $48,600 foreign planche, the $2,000 and $10,000 silver error, or the $612,000 half-dollar blank, belong on the auction block at Heritage or Stack's Bowers, where the biggest collectors battle it out. The 1984 D Washington quarter proves that even modern coins can hide unbelievable value. From face value to 6 figures, This coin is a perfect reminder that rarity, condition, and minting mistakes can transform the most ordinary quarter into a life-changing treasure. So the next time you spot a 1984 D quarter, don't ignore it, because that little D on the obverse could mark the difference between just another coin and a jackpot worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 1983p Washington quarter looks like any other coin from the 1980s, but this is one of the most surprising and sought-after modern quarters. Millions of people still spend them every day, never realizing that the 1983 Philadelphia issue has produced some of the most extreme auction results of any clad quarter, prices climbing into the hundreds of thousands, and in rare cases, breaking the $500,000 mark. Let's start with the basics. The obverse features John Flanagan's portrait of George Washington, first used in 1932. Liberty stretches across the top. In God We Trust sits to the left, and the date 1983 is below the bust. The reverse shows the familiar heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows with olive branches below. These coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but here's a key detail. There is no mint mark on 1983 quarters from Philadelphia. That blank space is what tells you it came from Philly. Each one was struck in copper nickel clad, weighing 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. The mintage was massive. Over 673 million were struck. But here's why they're so rare today. In 1982 and 1983, the Mint did not issue any official mint sets. That means there was no way for collectors to order pristine examples. Almost every 1983p quarter entered circulation, got banged up, and stayed there. Finding a true mint state gem is far harder than the mintage numbers suggest. In circulated grades, the 1983p is still worth face value. But mint state coins, that's where the story explodes. An MS-65 might bring $60. An MS-66 sells for $350. An MS-67, an elite grade, for this coin has sold for $1,920. An MS-67 Plus shot up to $2,600 at heritage auctions. And then came the record breaker, a superb MS-68, nearly flawless, that stunned collectors when it sold for an unbelievable $38,400. But that's just the beginning. The 1983p is also notorious for one of the most famous double die reverses in modern coinage. On certain coins, the letters in a pluribus unum, United States of America, and quarter dollar show strong doubling. Certified examples in high grades bring serious money. A mid-grade DDR might sell for $2,000. A mint state DDR brought $2,200, and a top pop DDR in MS-67 soared to $17,250. Experts believe if a pristine MS-68 DDR were ever found, it could easily push past $150,000 at auction. Errors take things even further. A $1,923p struck on a copper cent planche sold for $6,500. An off-center strike brought $2,750. A broad strike realized $1,900. Then came the shockers. A transitional error struck on a leftover silver planche sold for $48,600. Another 1983p quarter struck on a foreign planche realized $10,000. And one spectacular double denomination error, a 1983p quarter struck over a Lincoln cent, brought an astonishing $385,000. The historical context only adds to the intrigue. The early 1980s were tough years for the mint. The economy was recovering from recession, inflation was high, and coinage was in heavy circulation. Collectors were frustrated by the lack of mint sets in 1982 and 1983, which is exactly why these coins are so scarce and high grade today. What people dismissed as just another quarter at the time has become one of the most desirable modern issues in the Washington series. So how can you find one? Search through rolls and boxes of quarters from the bank, or check estate collections. Look carefully for crisp luster and minimal contact marks. That's the key to mint state value. Weigh any unusual examples. A normal 1983p quarter weighs 5.67 grams. Anything heavier could be a silver planche error, and anything lighter could be a foreign planche or wrong metal strike worth thousands. And don't forget the double die reverse. Check the letters under magnification, because that variety is one of the most valuable of the entire clad era. If you think you found a candidate, certification is critical. A raw mint state coin might fetch $50, but in a PCGS or NGC holder at MS67, the same coin can soar past $10,000. Double die reverse certified. In high grade can move into the tens of thousands. And major errors are auction block material, the kind of pieces that change hands, for 6 figures at Heritage or Stack's Bowers. The 1983p Washington quarter is proof that rarity isn't always about mintage numbers. Even a coin with over $500 million struck can turn into a treasure when history, grade, and minting mistakes line up. From a face value 25-cent piece to a $385,000 double denomination error. This is the coin that reminds us all, never take modern quarters for granted. So the next time you see a 1983 quarter without a mint mark, don't ignore it, because it just might be the key to unlocking hundreds of thousands of dollars hiding in plain sight.